Hey guys, it's trainer Hailey here, and today I'm going to be making an educational video of how to use the Sport Dog 425X e-collar, as well as finding the working level for Scout and Winnie, and how to integrate it with positive association. So first things first is the e-collar should only be used for redirection-based training, not punishment. And what I mean by that is if Scout and Winnie do something wrong, we're not using it to stem them and use it in a harmful way. We're just using it like, listen to me, pair it with my verbal command, and if you don't, then it acts almost as leash pressure. And I will show you later on how to actually do that and what I mean by demonstrating it. Another thing is you don't want to use it for every command. So for instance, if she does really good with sit, I'm not going to use it with sit every single time. There's no point. I only use it for the ones that she struggles with. So for instance, Scout and Winnie struggle with barking, so we're going to use it for quiet. We're also going to use it for come because we want to do a lot of off-leash recall. And then we're also going to use it for leave it as well. And whenever I use the e-collar, I'm using it simultaneously with my verbal command. And I will show you how to do that in a second. So this is the remote for the Sport Dog 425X e-collar, and right here is the intensity dial where you can change the level of the stimulus, and this flat button is the one stem that we pair with our verbal, and this raised button is the continuous stem that will continuously stem the dog for up to 8 seconds as a safety feature. It won't go any higher. Now that I've showed you the remote itself and what the buttons are, I'm going to show you how to find the working level of your dog, and I'm going to be using Scout as our demo dog for this. In order to find the dog's working level, you want to make sure that you are in a room with minimal to no distractions, because we don't want the dog to be completely distracted, because the higher the distractions, the higher the working level. And in order to positively associate it, we want to make sure we're using the lowest working level possible. Now, what I'm looking for with the reaction of the stimulus to find that working level, I'm looking for a head drop, a head tilt, wherever the e-collar is on her neck, looking towards it. What I'm not looking for is any type of verbal yelp or bark or whine or anything, because we don't want it to be a harmful. We just want it to be a super low stimulus level where she can feel it, but it's not hurting her by any means. Once I find this working level, I will start stemming her and then using positive association. And what I mean by that is I will stem her on the one stem, not the continuous. So I will stem her and then I will give her love. I will stem her and then I will give her treats or whatever it is that she finds positive. And another thing to note is I don't want to hold the e-collar in front of her face and stem it, because then she's going to know that it's coming from this. I'm just going to casually stem her and then give her the pet. So I'm not making it super obvious that this is what I'm using to cause that stimulus. So I'm starting off with, hi mama, with level 1, and then we'll go up from there. So I will sit. So I'm going to press the stem, no reaction. So I'm going to turn it up to 2, press it, no reaction, turn it up to 3. See how she dropped her head? Good girl. So 3 is her working level. Good girl. So now I'm just going to stem her and then give her a treat. Good girl. Good girl, Scout. Good girl. I'm going to stem her, give her something positive. Good girl. And I just do this over and over. Stem, lots of love. Good girl. Good girl. So I will continue to do this for about 2 to 3 days. Just depends on the dog. If they're more timid and a little bit more nervous, then I will go a little bit longer. But with Scout, she's doing really great. So it's probably only going to take 2 to 3 days of the e-collar integration and positive association. And then once I get past those 2-3 days, then I can start pairing it with my actual verbal command. Something super important that I want to note is that the dog's working level will change based on the environment that they're in. So in my house, where there are no distractions whatsoever right now, she's going to be at a 3. But whenever we go out to the park or out into public, we might have to go up to a 4, 5, or even a 6. It's just gonna depend based on how distracted she is. And that's another thing that you kind of figure out as you go. If let's say I'm in the park and she's not listening to a 3, I'll just go up 1 level at a time, see if she's responding to a 4. If not, okay, I'll go up until she's responding to a 5. And another thing is whenever, let's say we're working at the park for an hour or 2, we might be at a 5, and she's been doing great at a 5, 30, 45 minutes in, let's say she's starting to react a little bit more differently to the e-collar. It's just because she's becoming a little bit more sensitive to it because it's been used over and over again, and that's okay. If she's starting to become a little bit more verbal towards it, then I will turn it down and go to a 4 or even go back to a 3 because she's so used to the stimulus now.